Hello and good evening from Rwanda's capital here in Kigali, and many thanks for joining us on this Wednesday edition on RwandaTV. These are the top stories for our viewers in Rwanda and across the world. President Paul Kagame is in Jordan, where he held talks with the King Abdallah II, focusing on strengthening cooperation in various fields between Rwanda and Jordan. Experts in the field of development of software are satisfied with the progress made in this industry, but they want the local software to be used rather than importing the one that they are using currently. Now, teachers and students in Bugesera district say a lot needs to be done to improve the quality of education in the country. Many thanks for joining us for tonight's broadcast. I'm Ethan Tashabia. You're watching our TV News live from Kigali. Experts in the field of software are satisfied with the progress made in this industry, but they want the local software to be used rather than importing it. Google commissioned an Accenture to produce Africa's developers landscape, where Rwanda stands in the third category of fostering this growth with other two countries. Siddhir Patel reports.
For the second year in a row, Google had commissioned Accenture to produce analysis that resulted to map Africa's developer landscape. Google has expanded this edition of the report to include year-over-year growth analysis, tech ecosystem components, and key growth factors. The research was conducted in 16 markets, and the findings were extrapolated to the rest of the African countries. One of the countries included in the research was Rwanda, where it stands in the third category of fostering landscape for growth. According to Mr. Oliyemuga Bonake, the managing director of AD Finance, there are around 4,000 confirmed software developers and 287 senior developers who has more than 7 years of experience in this industry in Rwanda.
We need to address the quality of our young graduates, so that we business people, we talk with academics to have graduates who have skills that match with the needs of the market. So we need to really work hard on that. Second thing is to enhance the access to markets, for our local born companies.
Solvit Africa CEO Joseph Semafra says the knowledge these students have received from the training is what makes them successful in the regional market. Of the 1,000 students, more than half of them have already been hired.
Solvit Africa, it's a training and outsourcing company in sector of technology. So we train software developers to be ready for the global market. Then we press them on the market, then they get jobs either in the local companies or international companies. The market's too demanding. And again, we don't have enough resources to put enough people on the training. I've mentioned that we do 2 months training. It's not enough. But because the market's too demanding, we just do, we wrap it up, then we put them on the market. Those who failed to pass through, they come back on training again. So if we have enough resources, we are okay to really spend enough time with these people, at least 6 months. We train them, then when they be on the market, no one is going to judge them at all.
The world was at risk of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. Bonte Emma and Ms. Nazifa Umutoni were among those who completed this training.
I showed them a website that I did, and I proceeded to joining the program. During the program I have learned a lot because I do UI UX design. It's not common in Rwanda, but it's very helpful. We are in week 5. We do a training of 6 weeks.
So I joined Tech Affinity from Solvit Africa. I had the training with Solvit Africa, a training of 6 weeks. And after those weeks, they connected me with Tech Affinity.
Mr. Senthil Srinivasan, the Vice President of Technology and Strategy in Tech Affinity, a software development company based in the USA, briefs us about the talents found in Rwanda and how to bridge the gap of challenges found in this industry.
Finding out the resources in Rwanda is a bit challenges initial days before we get the contact with Solvit. That's a company that we have been associated with, and in terms of talented, they are good, and the challenges that we face even facing now is like kind of finding out the seniors is a kind of challenges now. And we were able to identify the resources. Around 35 resources are currently working with us. and they are pretty much good, and they are exceeding our expectation. And there are areas still we need to fine-tune them, and currently we are doing that right away. Bridging gap, we have a kind of regular training program that we are conducting through India, and our Indian talents are like regular communication with our guys, and they are improvising their technology, their communication, and the day-to-day activities that they are currently doing. They are really they are improvising those guys. And in terms of in future plan, yeah, we are planning to have like a double fold. Currently, I said 35 resources, and we are planning to double fold that. And for that, we need local community help.
Being fast growing country, and is Rwanda being the first country in Africa or East Africa in terms of ICT literacy. But again, we need to identify the gaps that are here. Then we bridge them together with the ecosystem players.
Mr. Kimeni Aimable, the second chairperson in the Private Sector Federation PSF, tells us about the commitment the government has for its citizens.
Melon, we have University of Rwanda, which is pushing so hard. We have Coding Academy in Nyabihu, which is really tackling this journey with those young people to tell them what is really needed on the market. So I'm going to work with my colleagues in the chamber to try to see how we can give the maximum networking with those young people.
3 countries which are preceded by Rwanda include Egypt, Nigeria and Kenya have made great strides in developing in this sector, and South Africa has been placed in the first place. Siddhi Patel, RTV News.
Many thanks, Siddhi Patel, for that report. Now, teachers and students in Bugesera district say they are happy with the progress made in improving the quality of education, although there is need to address some of the challenges that they still face in this sector. Jen Mutoni reports.
At GC Dihiro in Gashora sector, Bugesera district, some students are eating together as it is done in various schools across the country. On the other hand, teachers in Bugesera district say that the quality of education has improved due to the increase in the number of classrooms, hence reducing congestion. But they are asking the Ministry of Education to address some of the challenges they face, including lack of books, inadequate materials, and delayed replacements for teachers that have resigned, which results in delayed classes. The Minister of Education, Dr. Maria Valentin, says that all of these issues will be addressed soon, and that cooperation between parents, teachers, local authorities and other stakeholders is very much needed as well.
Today's meeting was about sitting together with all stakeholders in education in order to see where we still have challenges and decide together what we are going to do to address those challenges. First of all, it was about visiting different schools, assess the current status and the challenges they are having, and at the end we sat together with head teachers, local government leaders and different partners in education, and we again discussed those challenges, and the outcomes from these meetings is that everyone is committed and everyone is ready to play his own role in order to address the challenges that are hampering the quality education.
The Ministry of Education has launched a program which will end by the end of this March, in which officials and staff of the ministry is visiting public and private schools to find out their achievements and challenges that still need the cooperation of various agencies so as to improve the quality of education. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
Now, according to I&M Bank's management, in the year 2021, the bank recorded more than 9 billion Rwandan francs net profit, and 70% of all services provided to customers were accessed digitally. Innocent Mugabo has more.
As I&M Bank Rwanda announced its financial performance results for 2021, Board Chairman Bonaventure Niyibizi stressed that although the COVID-19 pandemic had increased the rate at which participants use digital services, the bank had already invested heavily in digital infrastructure. As a result, by the end of 2021, more than 70% of the services provided to customers have been accessed through online, resulting in a 30% increase in the total number of customers compared to the ones it had in 2020. Of these, 80% of them are small and medium-sized customers.
Nuza kuza kureba za detail urasanga twarashyize amafaranga menshi mu ikoranabuhanga.
If you are to go into details, you will find that we invested heavily in digital infrastructure, which helped us a lot when the pandemic hit, since it found us prepared. And the number of those that acquired digital services increased due to the pandemic control measures that were in place. Robin Basto, the managing director of I&M Bank Rwanda, states that the bank's bad debt is at a rate of 3.45%, a rate lower than that of the general banking sector today, which correlates with the service delivery and the proximity to the beneficiaries.
Our credit impairments decreased by 69%, highlighting the improvements in the business environment and good credit management. Our NPL ratio is indicative of this, where we ended at 3.45%.
The bank's net profit after tax in 2021 reached 9.2 billion Rwandan francs, up 78% from the previous year. The bank explains that this is largely based on the tax deduction that the bank had to pay but exempted due to the investment of its recently constructed headquarters building.
Thank you, Innocent, for that report. Now, according to Rwanda Biomedical Center, about 750,000 children between the age of 5 and 6 will be vaccinated against polio using inoculations, rather what we know as injections. RBC noted that the plan is to stop using drops and only injectable vaccines will be given to children of 3.5 months to 9 months. Betty Mutoni has more of this report.
All over the country where schools are located, children born in 2016 and 2017 are being vaccinated against polio, and those that are not in schools will be found in their home villages. Previously, children were given 1-month drop of polio, but going forward, they will be getting jabs. In Igasavu district, where the nationwide program of vaccination against polio was launched, officials noted that about 47,000 children will be vaccinated. Some of the parents noted that they now understand the importance of vaccinations to the lives of their children. A vaccinated child has strong immunity to the deadly diseases help. He grows up well, no diseases can attack them easily, but an unvaccinated child gets sick all the time and he can end up suffering from polio, which can cause disability. I know a baby who suffered from polio. It was difficult to go to school. His parents suffered looking for money to take him to school for disabled people, which is expensive. But the vaccinated child is always healthy. Such child cannot suffer from polio and other related diseases. According to RBC, Rwanda rolled out the inauguration vaccination campaign in 2018 targeting children from birth to 3.5 years. The director of vaccination program in RBC, Siwoman Hassan, says that the changes that happened in 2016 are the reasons why children in 2016 and 2017 need injections vaccination. He also noted that this vaccine protects children from physical disabilities and prevents child mortality.
We introduced it in 2018. So, and you can understand that those children born 2016 and 2017, so actually they didn't have this chance of having this vaccine to be protected against 3 types of this virus. So this is why today, during this week, since Monday, since last month, we are vaccinating all these children to make sure that all of them can have this chance of being vaccinated against 3 types of polio viruses. Risk of having polio. So the first one is a death. So it means that someone infected with polio actually, one of the risks is death. But most of the time we'll find that also someone who is infected with polio virus actually will have those flaccid paralysis, which can take either legs and arms. So you'll find that either if the child has been able to walk himself, so he will not be able to walk without having something to support him. Also, I have to say to parents that this is the time also to make sure that all our children are very well vaccinated.
RBC noted that the plan is to stop using drops and only injectable vaccines will be given to children of 3.5 months and to 9 months. Health officials say that polio vaccine has helped to reduce the incidence of polio by 99%. The last case of polio in Rwanda was reported in 1993, but recently in some of African countries like Malawi, children suffered from polio. Betty Mutoni, RwandaTV News.
That's all we had for you tonight. From me and the entire news production team, many thanks for your company tonight. Until next time, I'm Ethan Tashabia. Bye for now.